Hello class, we're going to help you out with MySQL WorkBench, specifically exercise 16.1. I think you'll be able to carry on with the other MySQL WorkBench assignments after we do this one. I apologize, the instructions could be a little bit more clear, and MySQL WorkBench is fairly complex and a little bit finicky, a little bit tricky. So here we go. I've got it loaded up here. There it is. Now, as you can see, looking through the steps at the bottom of page 541, the next thing we're supposed to do, step 4, is reverse engineer using the reverse engineer MySQL create script command. Well, where the heck is that? Well, it happens to be under File, Import. No, they didn't tell us that, but that's where it is. So if we click that, we're now supposed to browse on our system into our XAMPP folder and find it. Well, as you can see, I've already done it just moments ago. So what I'll do is I'll do it from scratch. So to do it from scratch, I would click on my drive C, go to my XAMPP folder, go to my htdocs folder, go to my book apps folder, and the create DB folder, and there's the script that we're supposed to reverse engineer. I'll click on that. Now, I don't think this is selected. I've done a few of these just to get ready for this video. If you select this checkbox, that's a good idea. That'll put your tables on the graph right away. So I'm going to hit execute. And there they are. There are the 7 tables over here. Also, you might have to select this, place objects on diagram. If necessary, click that. And then hit next and finish. And here they are. This is my ER diagram. And I'll just try to get these various folders a little closer to each other here. We can move them around a bit. Because we will have to establish relationships between these. Okay, now looking over the page on page 541, the next thing we want to do, we didn't have to drag the tables on. By selecting placing them on the diagram, but we could skip that step. So we're now at step 6. I'm going to double click on the products table. There it is. And that opens up this expanded menu that they're talking about here. This is the pane that they're talking about across the bottom of the window. And as you can see, we're supposed to click the columns tab. Well, it's already open by default. Here are the tabs down here. And the columns tab is open by default. Okay. Now we can click the close button on the products tab to close that pane. Now, do you see a close button? I don't. But what they're talking about is just this little X button, which we know what that does from working with Windows. So that's what they're talking about. Once again, sorry about the instructions not being too clear. Now, step 7. Now we're going to show the relationships between the tables. And this is what this is all about. And this is why MySQL WorkBench can be very helpful. What we're going to do is establish relationships between tables. And to do that, we have to first select the foreign key, then the primary key in a different table. The relationship between the two tables is what we're going to set up. Well, in order to do that, we have to select the place a relationship using existing columns button. Well, do you see that? I don't see it. They're not very helpful, but here's where it is. It's this one down here. If you hover over it, you'll notice it says place a relationship using existing columns. So that's what we want. So select it, and that popped up this little menu here, as you can see. And the first thing I want to click is the foreign key. Now, look at the table, the graphic for step 7. And under foreign key, you'll see it's customer ID in the orders table. So I have to click on that first. Here it is, customer ID. So click that first, and you'll notice it shows up in the pop-up window here. Now, the second thing I have to do is click the primary key in that table. So if you look at the top row, the primary key in the top row there is customer ID in the customers table. So here that is right here. So I'll click that, and there's the relationship being established graphically with this line. And this is a one-to-many relationship because one customer could make many orders, right? And that's indicated by the fork. Notice how the line here, the relationship line, expands into multiple forks to indicate that one customer could have many orders. Okay, so that's how you establish the relationship. Now you just have to go through the various tables here and do the same thing for them all. I'm going to look at the second row. The second row in the foreign key column first, I want the customer ID in the addresses table. Okay, so here it is here, but I've got to select the tool here first. Customer ID in the address table. You can see that it's selected up here now. And the primary key for that is customer ID in customers table again. So this one. Okay, now I've got that relationship established. If you hover over the link between the tables, it will reflect which, to see if you've done it properly, it'll show you which fields in the tables the relationship is using. You can see here it's using customer ID for each of these. Okay, now you could delete this. You could just press delete while you're hovering over it if you make a mistake. Now, we want to save this, but not until you're done. So you've got a few more things to do. What you've got to do is go through the rest of that chart that you could see for step 7 to establish the relationships, and then save it as my guitar shop underscore shop 3 MWB, which means MySQL WorkBench file. Okay, so that's all there is to it. Good luck. I apologize for how tricky that is, but I think after doing this, you'll be okay with the other assignments for 16.2 part 1. 16.2 part 1, though, you have to create the tables yourself. Okay, you've got to create a new ER diagram and create that table yourself. Hope that helps.